as you can see, today we are making cheesecake, okay? I'm going to show y'all how to make a plain cheesecake and a chocolate caramel cheesecake using a cake pan. Let's get into it. So let's get into these ingredients for our graham cracker crust. So we have butter, 1.5 sticks, sugar, 1 cup, and graham crackers. You want a total of 2.5 cups of graham crackers once they have been processed and turned into crumbs, as you see here. I like to get a very fine crumb for my graham cracker crust so that it's just, I don't know, it just hits better that way. So these are our ingredients for the actual cheesecake part. So we have 3 packages of cream cheese that has been brought to room temperature. We have 3 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm super excited to start doing some live videos for y'all so y'all can see the actual process of how I mix things. So here we are getting started with our graham cracker crumbs, and making the graham cracker crust. And so I've added the melted butter and the sugar to the graham cracker crumbs, and I'm mixing it up so that it all can be combined and getting it ready to go into our pan. So I'm gonna mix it until it gets to about this phase, and I think it's good to go. And if you can see here, let me try to zoom in. You can see the texture of the graham cracker to where like it'll stay packed down, you know. So that's how you know it's like moisturized enough by the butter. Okay. Also, let me grab some gloves. BRB. Alright, good thing my gloves were close by. Y'all like my gloves? I feel like I'm going into surgery right now. Anyway, I am going into surgery of this cheesecake. So let me tell y'all, I'm using this cake pan instead of a traditional springform pan because I don't have a springform pan. So I'm going to line this with parchment paper, and for real, I'll be right back when I'm done with that. So I'm back, and first I'm going to start by spraying my pan with my favorite spray ever. And so I made a little circle of parchment paper here to go at the bottom of the pan, like so. And then I'm going to take a little strip that I cut of parchment paper and just put it around the edges. And so I put the spray in there to hopefully help the parchment paper stick, but that's not really working. But anyway, the parchment paper is going to be there to make sure that the cheesecake does not stick to this pan, because usually you would use a springform pan for this because it literally will release the cheesecake. But in this case, we don't have a springform pan, so we making do with what we got, you heard me? So anyway, now I'm gonna start putting the graham cracker crust. Let me see if I can put this closer to y'all so y'all can see that like that. You see how I do that? Okay, there we go. So now I'm gonna start putting that in here to form the base of our cheesecake. Okay. Now I read somewhere that when you put when you use a cake pan instead of a springform pan, you may need to double the crust. So that's what I'm gonna do. And honestly, I can't even tell y'all like how I know it's double. I'm just gonna make sure the crust is just really thick at the bottom, and that's just in case say this doesn't come out of the pan clean, then at least you know you still have some of the crust attached to the cheesecake, and some of the crust might be stuck to the pan, but at least you got enough in the cheesecake. So at this point, I'm just finishing up the graham cracker crust in this pan. I also did a smaller pan off camera for the chocolate caramel cheesecake, and I did not put parchment paper in that one. So I'm showing two different methods in this video on different ways you can prepare your pan. And after it's done, you want to bake it at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes, then let it cool off completely before filling it with your cheesecake batter. Now it's time to get started on the delicious cream cheese filling. So first we have the cream cheese in there in the mixing bowl, beating to get smooth, and then we're going to add the sugar into the mix, and next the vanilla. And I'm going to let that go just a little bit longer so it can all get combined. Now I'm going to stop and scrape the bowl just so we can get everything from the sides and the bottoms, and this will help make sure that our batter comes out nice and smooth and that we don't have any chunks of cream cheese or anything, It just helps to make sure that everything is nice and incorporated at the end. So now we're going to add our eggs. Remember, we have 3 eggs and we're going to add them one at a time. Adding the eggs one at a time just helps to make sure that each one is incorporated again, and so that I think personally it helps to make sure that you don't have clumps or little pieces of eggs in your finished product. It just makes sure that the eggs are fully mixed in to the batter. And as you can see, it's really starting to smooth out and give you that smooth, creamy cheesecake filling that we are going for. And then I'm gonna let this mix just a little bit longer, and then it'll be time to add this to the crust. So the good thing about letting the crust bake while we do this part is so that by the time this is done, the crust is cooled off and ready to go. And as you can see, I have a silver tin there, and that is my water bath, okay? So the water bath is essential for making sure that your cheesecake does not get too brown on the top. This does make it bake a little longer, but that is okay. I think it's worth it because you just get a nicer product at the end. So after pouring the plain cheesecake into the other pan, I'm going to use the leftover batter to try a caramel chocolate swirl cheesecake. So I made a chocolate ganache. You could also use just melted chocolate on this part instead of the ganache. And I also used some salted caramel topping that I got from the store. And as you can see, I'm adding that caramel in there. The caramel is a little stubborn, so you may need some help getting that off the spoon. And after that, I just went ahead and folded it gently so that it wouldn't get too incorporated, because like I said, I wanted a swirl effect. However, it didn't come out as planned, but hey, it's okay. I think it's still going to taste delicious anyway. So now that we're done mixing it, I'm going to add that to our other pan that has the graham cracker crust. And I'm actually not too mad at that swirl. I mean, look at that. I think it looks beautiful. And after I put it into the pan, I'm going to just smooth out the top of the cheesecake so that it's just nice, flat, and smooth. And after that, I'm going to throw it into the oven in our water bath with the other cheesecake and bake it until it is set. Like when you shake the pan, it should not jiggle too much. And sorry that this pan is so out of frame, guys. I really thought that it was more centered. Bear with me. Look at that finished product, y'all. That's beautiful. And even the swirl came through a lot better than I expected. So I'm using my spatula here just to loosen up the sides because I forgot to put the parchment paper in this pan. I did spray it though, so that helped. And now we're gonna get ready to flip it out of this pan. So you take a cake board, excuse that caramel there, and flip it over and bam. What? I mean, it came out so clean. And so we're gonna flip it over again. Ooh, let me clean up those crumbs. BRB. Alright, look at that, y'all. That's beautiful. And you can see why I said to double the crust in that cake pan, because some of the crumbs did fall off. But look, we still have some there, and it looks delicioso. Okay? Beautiful. Now for my favorite part, cutting into the dessert and seeing what the inside looks like. Ooh, I can't wait for y'all to see this. Wait for it. That just looks so good. Not to toot my own horn, but ooh, toot. Now y'all know my focus game is weak right now, so don't judge me. Just hold on, bear with me. Wait for it. Bam. There we have it, y'all. This is the delicious chocolate caramel cheesecake. I also use that same method to flip out the regular cheesecake. And here are the finished results. And here's what the plain cheesecake looks like. And here's how I decided to garnish it. Have fun with this recipe, guys. Let me know how it works for you. Happy baking!